Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is a collective reading, but we're going to do things a little differently. I'm going to use my Yin Yang Oracle, but we're going to tap into the negative energy at a collective level that's trying to control us and see what we can find out. So I'm going to put you on my tray looking at the tapestry. Enjoy. Is that cool? I don't know how many cards are going to do. I don't know how long I will have. I'm going to shuffle twice and then we'll start. If you are feeling exhausted this week, if you've been in your pajamas for 2 days, like me, just know that that's okay. There's really heavy fucking energy right now. Like really heavy. What we're seeing with everything. All right, let's start pulling. We got distance, retreat, or time out. That's how I feel about society. Reflection and projections. All right, cool. We did a shadow on that. Which, by the way, I got over 500 views. Thank you so much. We've got nurture, compassion, chemistry, passion. We've got water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I'm not trying to do any personal narratives. I'm trying to do like heavy, big collective energy. How can we combat these systems? Give us what we need to combat, I'm shuffling, these systems. We've got tactics and control. Yes. What do we need to get over that? Masculine energy needs to stop being such a pussy. Apology, forgiveness. Seriously, there's a lot riding on the masculine energy in our collective because masculine energy has been leaning on feminine energy for far too long. It's out of balance. Attraction, Mars, hot, messages, dreams, ego, vanity, pride. Hey, Niall. That's my pride. We've got self-care and energy in reverse. Hi, baby. So, yeah, like I said, if you're really struggling, take care of yourself. Past, lack, and suffering. For those of you that are doing your shadow work, you might be feeling a lot of that. We've got separation, longing, guilt, and sabotage. These are all just personal narratives. The other day I was playing with my deck just by myself and I pulled the whole deck and I just like the storylines that come through. We've got rejection, loss, and fragmented, which was in the reverse. I feel like that's pretty much how the collective feels right now. Just a lot of negative energy, a lot of heavy. I have them all like in this big stack. Let me lay them out. So masculine energy does need to be stepping forward. There needs to be healing though for that to happen. So, and I'm not talking about men, I'm talking about masculine energy. We each have feminine and masculine within us. Men, it is included in that because of the patriarch, toxic masculinity. Air, so we've got air and water elements. Party, external. We've got alchemy and ancestor guides. So we've got a lot. It looks like, we're going through a collective consciousness shift. Going through the collective waking up. Like really learning and starting to pay attention to things that are happening. We're pulling on the collective powers though, but these are all pretty, well, maybe not. Earth, we got earth energy now. Family, home, commitments. We've got North Node, purpose in reverse. Staying pregnant. Whoa, that was a Freudian slip. Staying present. Gratitude. Someone might be pregnant. If you need to take a test, take a test. Integration and union. We really need integration and union. Right after that, I pulled detachment and cold. Those two are pretty different sides of the spectrum, if you ask me. Memories and nostalgia. That's a lot of the shadow work. Healing the inner child. Wow, it's cool that those came up together. Freedom, leap, Uranus, opportunities, confusion, forming structure, solid foundation, trusting divine time, guarded and vulnerable. I feel like, yeah, I mean, what this is telling me is that, like, as a collective, we each have our individual struggles, we each have our individual lives, we each have our individual paths, what we're doing, things we're working on, you know, relationships, and we have to focus. Yes, those things are also important, but we have to get to a point. Like, I specifically didn't want to pull any narratives, and I'm pulling a fuck ton of narratives. So we have to get to a point where we're not letting our own personal individual stuff get in the way from recognizing, realizing, and building the futures that we want for ourselves and our children and those that come after them. Right next is truth and expression, epiphany and breakthrough, Venus and offer, karma, balance, and justice in the reverse. Can't see that. Yeah. So, and what I want to say, I'm going to stop pulling these cards and just channel for a sec. What I want to say is that we are in the midst of a lot of untruths. As a collective, we are waking up to the truth. We are waking up to being oppressed, right? It's been hidden in these, you know, you have individual freedoms, but it's just, you know, freedom is not the same as having an option for consumerism. You know, freedom does not equate to freedom of choice, like in regards to capital gain. So all I want to say is that what's coming through a lot is that, yes, we each all have our individual lives, but we are getting to a point where we really have to, I pulled about half the deck, that we really have to focus on building collectively. We need to take accountability for the things that we've done. We need to apologize and offer forgiveness. Oh, you can't see that shit. Offer forgiveness for the projections that were really reflections. We need to nurture. We need to distance ourselves and separate from things that no longer serve us, including the system that we live in. I'm a big fan of revolution. I don't think we're there collectively yet. But I think that this week we're seeing a whole hell of a lot go on. And I think what's pretty common for us in our country, in America especially, is that when we see other people going through things, I mean, I know for me this week, with everything that was happening in New York and other places, but specifically Wednesday in New York, it kind of kicked my ass into prep gear, or prepping, right? You got air energy as I'm talking about the fires in New York. I put everything back and I'm reshuffling. But I think that when we see other people struggling, or when we see other big events happen, a few things can happen. We can shut ourselves off to it. We can ignore it. We can pretend like it's not happening. We can get hyper vigilant and put ourselves in the position of the people that are experiencing something, and, you know, figure out what we would do in that situation using empathy. I think that what happens when our collective struggles, in this country especially, is that it's really hard for folks to come together right now. Third eye, clarity. So we need some clarity around our situation. We have another earth energy. lack and doubts. I've been exhausted as fuck this week. I have, for me personally, because I've survived some stupid shit in my life, been in survival mode. I mean, I'm grateful that I survived, don't get me wrong. But when I see people struggling, or I see the government doing some shady shit, I mean, they always are, right? But when we see this shit in real time, for me, this doesn't have to be your case, but for me, it kicks into my fight or flight, my survival. It makes me feel like I'm going to war, and that's why I'm exhausted, and that happens at a collective level. Strength and empowerment and the sun, rebirth, winter, facade beliefs, assistance and spirit guides. Okay, that's good, because that's the thing, we need some fucking help on this planet. This shit's not working. We got ego, vanity, pride. We've got guarded, vulnerable, and chemistry, passion. So I feel like if we focus on the good will continue to good. I feel like if we focus on the bad too much, of course we know this, it's not going to do ourselves any favors. I think that with everything happening this week, there were 3 main stories that were circulating a lot. Anytime there's main stories that are being circulated a lot, there's usually something happening at a deeper, hidden level. Especially if the news stations are talking about stuff. It's a distraction. It's a tactic. Where's the tactic card? Oh, I must have pulled that up before. So I feel like as a collective, we can continue to do our own individual thing for the benefit of ourselves and others. But I feel like ultimately this week was a lot. I don't think that we're going to have weeks in the future that are not going to be a lot in one way or another. So I would say continue to take care of yourself, do what you need to do. And I would say that now is a really good time to do what you want to do. If you've been seeking clarity, if you've been thinking about doing something, if you've been thinking about a person, if you've been thinking about, moving, if you've been thinking about any of this, I would say now's the time to do that. I mean, not I'm gonna wake up and move tomorrow, but start doing what you need to do to get things in order. Yep. Cycles, change, completion. Mercury, messages, travel, communication. If you've been thinking about something, messages and dreams, past, lack, and suffering in the reverse. So it's to alleviate suffering at an individual level and as a collective. It's time for messages. We've got messages twice here in these 2 cards that came out together. I don't know if you can see that. And we've got change and cycles and completion. To me that says it's time for the revolution. Look, there's fire. I mean, this is talking about relationships, though. It says attraction, hot. But whatever. Contracts, careers, commitments. It's time to make changes. And I feel like that's what I'm picking up on. I feel like I'm picking up on just some really stagnant, sticky, stuck in the mud in Candyland energy. And when the collective has large emotional responses to catastrophic events, either state-wise, country-wise, globally, whatever, you can feel that. Well, I can feel that energy, but you can too. And that's the thing. If you're not aware of that, That could be the reason you're feeling yucky. It could be the reason you're feeling tired. But it's time for activation of your higher self and integrating union. So again, that's that feminine, masculine energy. Follow the integrating shadow videos I'm doing. If you feel like doing that work, if you're not, if you're in a place that you feel really stuck, you got to make some decisions. See, it says right here we got, well, first we got earth, air, and energy. Again, that's the third time it's come up. Lack, doubts, and then third eye clarity. So if you are, like, as a collective, if there's something that you want to do, feel like you need to do, if there's something that you've been really desiring, anytime any individual does something that feeds their soul, it serves the whole collective. And that's vice versa for, like, if you aren't doing what you want, if you're stuck, if you're, you know, just a douche all the time, that also affects the collective. But ultimately, as a collective, we need to understand that while we each have our own personal narratives going on, there's things that are happening around us, within us, around us, under us, above us, all over the fucking place. And so I guess it's kind of calling for an ego death too. Just, you know, take some inventory of yourself. If you're really struggling, you know, check in with yourself. Wow, loud sound. What do you what's your message that you have for, what's the message that you have for the collective? He said, we got growth, summer. We got comfort zone, clinging, and south node. I have no idea what the planets are doing personally. But I know that on this planet it absolutely sucks balls. So, just do what you need to do to stay focused. Do what you need to do to prepare for what's coming. I've made some videos on that. I feel like this week I really let myself get swept up in everything, but now I am prepared. And now I feel a lot more at peace. Today I even took a nap, which is really hard for me. I usually have like panic attacks as I'm trying to take a nap. So all that to say is, like, I spent a lot of my week being hyper focused on prepping, watching everything that's happening. And this isn't for everybody, that's fine. But it should be for everybody. You got to prep a little bit. But all that to say is that what we're seeing in this country is not cool. We don't know what's going to happen. We got folks calling for violence because of the Trump indictment. Shit's exhausting as fuck, all right? So if you're exhausted, I hope that you can take a little bit off of yourself. I know I do a lot of my collective readings about individuality and, like, ways that we can help the collective. But I also want you to recognize that, like, as a collective, we're being fucking beat to death, okay? Like, repetitive fucking bullshit, just constantly, okay? Shit is fast. So give yourself some grace, too, in the very least. You know, give yourself some grace for not jumping on that decision that you're waiting on, not following through. Give yourself some fucking grace. But also, please don't be an apathetic bystander either. You know, it's going to take all of us being the best that we can be to take down these powers. Just cut it and pull truth expression again. I just love playing with these cards. I love this deck so much. We're going to have epiphany breakthrough because the truth is coming. I think that I'm feeling like we're on the verge of something really big. But it's like an annoying pester feeling because we've been on the verge of something really big for the past few years, like constantly. And, you know, so it's like, how much more do we have to endure of this, right? And I know I'm getting exhausted. I'm so fucking exhausted with atrocities and terror and trauma and violence. Like, I'm exhausted. Like, this shit sucks. And it's like, why? Like, I know at my level, like, that's not the world I want to live in, but it's the world that we live in, and it fucking sucks. Let's pull a couple more just because we can. We have, oh, this is cute. Spring and Seeds. And then we have Offer. And then we have Nurture and Compassion. So maybe the Earth, and Earth did come up 3 times, so maybe that's what I'm getting. We can, hi babe, sorry, baby. What was I saying? I don't remember. Nurture. Oh, the Earth. On Wednesday, a volcano in Hawaii also erupted, but that was really shadowed by everything happening in New York. The Earth is pissed, but Earth energy came up 3 times in this reading, so I think Earth Gaia, Mother Gaia, is wanting us to know that she is standing alongside of us. We all have the same enemy. And I think that's important to recognize, is that all living beings on this planet and the planet itself have the same enemies. They're killing us all. And I say living because I do not believe that the people in charge of making decisions are 100% human, alive, living. Because if you are and were, you wouldn't do this. But that's a different conversation. Fuck. I just cut the deck and she came out again. Okay, so the assignment is to ground on Earth. A grounding exercise that we can all do. Go outside barefoot. You can sit in a chair or you can just stand, whatever. Sit on the ground. You can sit and put a tree. If you have a good relationship with the trees, you got to talk to the trees. Ask permission to sit on the tree. Ask for support from the tree, and then put your feet flat on the earth. Close your eyes and envision roots growing out of your feet, going into the earth, going around the earth's core, coming back up and going through you and out your third eye or your crown. It's a meditation exercise. I've used this many, many, many times. It's lovely. But Earth is really asking us to do this coming through in this reading. Let's pick one more. Yeah. And look at that. Control tactics. So you see how that shoe is going in that guy's mouth? So if we all, like I just told you, like that's how you want to envision your roots going into the earth when you're like doing this meditation. You want to envision that light. And so this is exactly what we have to do. I'm so sorry it took me 24 minutes to get to this point. We want to fucking combat these control tactics by grounding on the earth. The earth has us. She's pissed. So anything that you can do with animals, the earthing beings, respecting, insects, taking care of a garden, putting food out for birds, making friends with, the friends around your house. I have a spider. I found a black widow yesterday in my shed. Yes, and so I was like, oh, I'm sorry. No, thank you. And it was like behind a suitcase. But I also have a black spider. I don't know if it's a widow because I can only see its legs. I don't think it is. But there's one right by my back door that has this gnarly little nest web. And so, like, at nighttime. Like, it's the keeper of the night. And I hate spiders. I don't hate them. I love spiders. They just creep me the fuck out. I've always been afraid of spiders. But anyway, all this to say is that that spider comes outside, or like comes visible in their web right by my doorknob, from my back door around like 7:38. And then like I go outside and get Woodstock at night and come in. And I just have made this peace with this spider because it's like right by my doorknob, okay? And so I put my flashlight on it, and I'm like, hi, I see you, and like we're aware of each other. And I also give Woodstock his food like close to the back door. And so we've had some flies escalate in the past couple weeks because of summer, you know. So anyway, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I'm so terrified of this spider, but this spider probably thinks I'm pretty dope because I've made like an entire food source here. Like, you know, catering to these flies that my dog has attracted, whatever. So all that to say is like, please pay attention to the beings that the earth, the earth's children that aren't human, plants and animals alike. But earth has us, and I'm actually feeling a lot better. I have a lot of energy now. Just knowing that earth came up 4 times in this reading. It's the only thing that came up that much. 4 times. So if you're a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo? Yeah. If you're one of those signs or have that highly aspected in your chart anywhere, please just be aware of that and really just tap into that energy within you. But really all you have to do is just please do a grounding exercise because the earth is asking for our help. And I, as a worker, as like a spirit worker, as an energy worker, I've been begging for help from like the powers that be that aren't incarnated in this realm. I've been like asking for help for years, and I know a lot of us have been, but like we can't do this ourselves. And so for me coming through, earth is letting us know, like, I got you. Please recycle. Just do what you can to take care of earth where you are. And remember that earth is available for us to use as a resource, considerately, compassionately. We, as individuals within the collective, could never do the harm to earth that these powers that be are doing, ever. We could never amount to that as individuals within the collective, as a collective altogether. It's not what the collective wants. It's not something that the collective is trying to do. It's these powers that be. And so, okay, this is a really long message, and I'm sorry, it was probably just super rambly in the beginning, but, ground this week sometime, breathe, enjoy earth, nature, and let's allow earth to speak to us, and let's help earth. Because like how sweet and compassionate is that she came up in this reading, because it's just like, what did I ask in the beginning? What do we need to do to overpower? Like, as a collective, we all need to tap into earth, and support earth, do our part to support earth. Earth has supported us, okay? When we're upset or when we're recognizing all of these things that are happening, we need to recognize that these are man-made. This is not how the earth should be cared for. And ultimately, that's what's coming through. So despite everything you have going on, try and take some time for self-care, but in doing that, connect yourself to the earth. Disconnect from all the bullshit, go outside and reconnect with earth, in whatever way that feels good to you, and as often as you can, because that's what we're being asked of. All right. I hope this helped. I'm going to watch it back and see if I post it, but I probably will because that was a really important message. So, yeah, of course I'm going to post it. I just feel self-conscious still. So, have a good one.